Before you fall asleep tonight, let me tell you a story that has quietly traveled through time. Not a story about beauty, not a story about monsters, but a story about a lonely heart learning how to love. Deep inside a silent forest, where the trees whispered instead of shouted, there stood an old castle. It was no longer frightening. It was tired, and very lonely. Inside that castle lived the beast. Long ago, he had been a prince, not poor, not forgotten, just proud. So proud that kindness felt unnecessary. One night, an old enchantress came to his door, asking only for shelter. The prince laughed at her, and with that laugh, everything changed. The enchantress revealed her magic and spoke softly. Your face will now reflect your heart. And only love, freely given, can ever break this spell. Years passed, seasons changed. The castle slept out until one quiet evening, a lost traveler entered the gates. It was Alina's father. The beast frightened him, but did not harm him. Something inside the beast had grown tired of cruelty. When Alina came searching for her father, she walked into the castle without fear. Not because she was fearless, but because love guided her steps. She chose to stay in the castle in her father's place. At first, the nights were cold and silent. But Alina brought warmth without trying. She spoke gently, she listened. She read books by candlelight, and even the walls seemed to listen. The beast watched from a distance. Slowly, the castle began to wake up. Candles lit themselves. The halls felt warmer. And the beast's heart, long asleep, began to beat again. He fell in love, and that frightened him more than loneliness ever had. When Alina had to leave the castle for a short time, silence returned. The enchanted rose lost its final petal. The beast lay down, ready to sleep forever. Then, soft footsteps echoed through the hall. Alina had returned. She knelt beside him, held his trembling hand, and whispered without fear, I stayed, because I love you. A gentle light filled the room. Not bright, not sudden, just warm, like morning after a long night. When the light faded, the beast was gone. In his place stood a prince, not changed by magic, but changed by love. And they lived on, not in a perfect castle, but in a peaceful one. And maybe that is why this story is told at night, because it reminds us that even the most broken hearts can heal, and that love, when gentle and true, always finds its way home. Good night.